Welcome friends. Today we are going to discuss Docker Composer. But before proceed, I would like to say thank you for all your likes, subscribe the channel and viewing my last videos. So please keep it up and add your comment in the comment section. This is going to help to improvise as well as check the topics that you want. Okay, so this video is on Docker Composer. I have just given the subtitle as Journey from Premises to Container, and I tried to check in all the corners that comes under the topic that covers the topic. So please see it at the end. Moving to next, on-premises versus virtual cloud. So basically, on-premises it's all about IT infrastructure. So previously, let's suppose on the front end, if we have any front end application and if we want to deploy it, so we need different servers and that is called on-prem servers, and it is having own cost because whole infrastructure as well as the softwares we need to manage as well as load balancing. We need more servers for the load balancing to maintain the peak period and other timing. So to overcome this problem, the concept comes as the cloud. So on cloud, what we are doing on demand. So let's suppose we have a cloud that is AWS. I'm using AWS, and in AWS, let's suppose I'm using EC2 EC2. EC2 have different servers. Let's suppose small, then medium, then large. Okay. Each server have its own RAM and other resources based on the need. So yes, it gives us the freedom where we can select the small, medium, and large. But again, every time it doesn't need that our requirement is every time, let's suppose large. So some on the peak period large I have taken, but every time large is not required, so I need to make it down to medium and small. And then further on, it's not like whatever the resources in small, everything is occupied properly. So that's the problem. Resources, that is we are bearing cost, but that is not occupied. Second problem is that is basically, let's suppose if I need to uh, scale it. So yeah, if I need to add the load balancer, so again load balancer will take more servers, and it is having, I need to select between small, medium, and large only. So that is the next one where our costs are high. And the third problem that we are trying to solve is, for each server I need to install the softwares. So softwares like .NET, Node, Python, and every software have its own version. So installing software, taking EMIs, and then moving on. So that is on the problem at the server end, but that is also a problem uh, at developer machine end. So developer machine, there is a version problem where the developer machine have some different version of software, but on servers it is having some different. So that is whole problem we have faced between on-premises and cloud VM. Now to overcome these issues, it comes up cloud VM versus container. So containerization is a technology that packages an application and its dependencies into a single lightweight executable unit called container, and this allows the application to run independently from host operating system and consistently across different environments. So this is our virtual machine. We have a host OS, we have a hypervisor. On that we have a application 1, application 2, application 3. So these are my different application that is running. And now I have a container. So container one, if I go to container, Docker architecture is on host OS. We have a Docker engine, and then based on that, I'm we are using the container one and container two. So basically, the container is, as it said, is a single lightweight executable unit called container. Okay. So now let's go and see how the containers works, how to install the Docker. So for installing the Docker, we can go with this link. This link I will provide in description section. I am not going to cover the installation steps, but yes, uh, here our focus will be more on Docker Composer. So let's suppose if I install it, I already installed it in my machine. So it is something like this. I have already installed it. These are my images, these are my containers. Let me delete all the images. So from scratch we can start it. So let me delete it. So my all containers got deleted, my all images got deleted. Okay, and this is my Docker. That's what I have installed in my machine. So once I install Docker, the Docker CLI, Docker Compose, and supplementary development tools are automatically installed. But I can go and see the version of Docker. So I can go and let me go to quickly uh, on command prompt. And on command prompt, if I go and add like Docker version. So this is my Docker version. If I need to do Docker compose version, so I can see these two versions. So both are installed at my machine. Now let's proceed for the next. So next we have this link, that is hub.docker.com. So hub.docker.com is basically, if you just copy paste this link, I will provide it into the description section. So if you copy paste it, so this is the hub.docker.com. In that we can see different images are there. So let's suppose on PostGrid, if I need to install, I will click here. I can pull the images. So these images are already present on Docker Hub, and we can pull these images and install it as a container. Okay, so that the demo we will do. So we have a demo like how to pull the images and run the container for of Docker Hub. So first of all, what I am going to do, there are two commands that is present here, that is Docker pull PostGrid. Okay, either Docker pull PostGrid specific version if I need to give the specific version. Okay, so this only pull the images, it will not run the Docker. Okay, so to run the Docker and pull the images both, we can go with this command. So this command I will provide it in description section. So if I go and just copy paste this command, okay, control C, and if I run it, okay, so first of all, you will see it is pulling the images. So this is the first Docker command, and this to run the container, this command is easily available. So I have just started from base how to run the first container. This is our first container that we are running, and pulling the images of Postgres 14.5. So let's complete this uh, execution. Okay, so now you can see my images got downloaded, as well as even this is our container. So let's quickly go and see what happened into the Docker. So in Docker you will see in images section, this is the Postgres. Okay, this is the tag 14.5 I have used. Okay, this is in use. In use means the container is already created. Okay, and if I go to container, I can see this one is also running local Postgres. Local Postgres is, this is the name I have given. This is my name, local Postgres, and this is my port I have given. This is my password I have given. So, and right now this is in. Okay, if I need to stop, it will stop. Okay, if from start and stop I can do. So this is just now we have installed the Postgres, and if I need to go and connect it with the Postgres, then let me quickly do it now itself. So this is our DBWeaver, and if I go and connect it Postgres, then our username, password, both are Postgres. Test connection complete. And at my local, I have not installed the Postgres. This Postgres, whatever I have connecting, I am connecting from my container. So I can see it is got connected, and whatever the tables and we will create that I can use further on. So this way we are installing our running our first container of Postgres. Okay, now let's move. Okay, so next thing is, let's suppose in any of project. Okay, in any of project there is uh, there are different controllers, sorry, different tools if we need to install. Then let's suppose we have a .NET. Okay, we have a .NET, we have PG SQL, we have Node. So you can think, if we need to install all, then with the command that we have run, that is not appropriate, because every developer and even who is maintaining the uh, as an infra team, they also need to run this, and there is a chance of where the version can be mismatched, or and this is a difficult job to run each everything via command. Okay, so how we can overcome it? We have overcome it with the Docker file. So Docker file is basically used for uh, for running the our own applications images. Okay, so from Docker file we will see how the images are getting created. So let me quickly open the Visual Studio. So this is the Visual Studio. I'm going to create a new project. That is our web API. Next, I will add the uh, folder name. So folder name is, okay, and that is demo API. Okay. Click on next. Now, at the time of creating project, there is an option enable container support. If I click it, it will create a Docker file for me. Okay, but for now I'm not clicking. If I click it, a Docker file will automatically comes in my project. Okay, but I will not create it now. I will create it later, so we can see if, because if some of our projects may not have it, so by this way we will able to understand it how we can add the Docker file later on also. So this is our project that I have just created. If I go and build it, it's built successfully. If I need to run it, so Okay, it is running and everything is fine. Okay, now let's suppose if I need to add the Docker file. So how I can add? I will click my project, I will click on add. Okay, and I will go to Docker support. So if I click on Docker support, it is asking me container OS. So I can take Windows or Linux. Normally we take the Linux. Okay, if I click OK, then this Docker file got created. Okay, so this is, and it is just running few things on the command prompt. Okay, it's created. So container is started. Even once I created my container, if I go to my Docker, so you see, before that I was only one container. Now I have two containers. One is API, demo API, and here in images also I can see. Okay, so once I created this, I can see both are ready. Okay, so if I need to run this, so if I run the container file, so here I can see our our solution having two, that is demo API, okay, and that is Postgres. Okay, and environment, I can see this is the environment of my container, and this all information related to my container. So from local, I have just, what I have did, I have added the Docker file and I have run it. Through run, Visual Studio automatically creates the images for you as well as the container. And from container, if I go and hit any of button, so I can see if I need to add weather forecast. So I can see it is having the response also. So this is the one way where I have just added the Docker file and created it via Visual Studio. Okay. Now take another approach, because every time it's not like we are going to work with Visual Studio, we will have the different tools and different projects. So how with commands I can create the image for my this web demo application, as well as I can run it. Okay, so before proceeding, what I will do, I will remove the container. Okay, as well as I will remove the images also. Now there is no container of related to my application. Then from command prompt, how I can do. Okay, if I don't need to run this my project, okay, then for that what I will do, I will go to click on my solution, I will go to File Explorer. On File Explorer, I will open a command prompt. Any command prompt we can take. I am taking a git bash. Okay, so in git bash, now I will use a command to run it. Okay, so my command will be docker. Okay, let me make it docker build. I'm building images. Okay, T. My image name is API demo v1. Okay, version 1. This is my demo name. Then path, from where it will my docker file is present. My docker file is present API demo slash docker file. Now let me check this is the correct path or not. So my file is present, once again. So it is basically okay, no problem. I have just due to typo it's become okay, whatever the folder name I need to give the folder name basically. So I will rename it, and this is my Docker file. So I need to go and correct it. So instead of API demo, it will be seems like it hanged. Let me check. Okay, so now it is, I have just added. Okay, it is basically a demo API, but since due to typo it's become DEMP API, but no problem, it is just a folder name. So I will go at and I will hit it. So basically what this command will do, this is the Docker build. So basically we are building images of our API. So Docker build -t, this is my image name, and this is the path where the Docker file is present. So what the things that is having the automatically generated Docker file. So Docker file is having four sections. So first sections, it's take a image from Microsoft.com, .NET, ASP.NET 8.0. Okay, it's set the worker directory, it expose the two endpoints, and then it start the build. This is all about the build process. This is all about the publish. Okay, I will not go in detail, that is I can cover in separate video. But now this is our Docker file that is automatically created, and I'm just showing you that if anytime if we need to do it or create our image, then how we can create the image for our application. So if I click here, okay, my bad. So at the end it is having dot. So now, okay, no such directly. Okay, let me check again. Docker file, my bad. So see, it is started. So now it is just building the image. It is not, it will not go and create the container. Okay, done. Go and see in image. I can see image demo is there. Okay, v1. So that is my image name. But if I go to container, I can see no container is there. Okay, it is just created a image. So and it is unused. It means that it is not in use. Okay. So now if I need to run it, then how I can run it? So to run the Docker image, there is a command, okay, that is docker run -p. So in -p, okay, and I will not specify, it will take the by default name of the container. If I hit it, if I go and see now in container, so see, this is now running and this is my image. Okay, so okay, it is just taking by default name. I can give the name of my container. So I will share you the whole cheat sheet of different commands of Docker that we can go through. But here overall concept is, so till now we have learned how to create the image and create the image and run the container via Visual Studio, and how to do it via different commands. So if I click it, okay, and if I run it, So it will be it we will able to see the result also. Just a minute. I'm just checking on it. Okay, so this way we can see our images has been run, as well as in container I can see I have run it through the container also. So that's what we have covered till now. Now next move to something like Docker Composer. Okay, so what is Docker Composer? So let's suppose there were two images, okay, that is currently running, and for two images I need to run the two commands, and both commands most of time we have seen, as in human we have made some um typo error or some understanding, and it is not so easy to understand the commands. Okay, for that Docker Compose comes into the picture. So what is the Docker Compose? Docker Compose is a tool for defining and running multi-container applications. Okay, it is a key to unlock a streamlined and efficient development and deployment experience. So to come on Docker Composer, let me first delete these two images that we have run. So let me empty our container. Let me empty our images also. So first thing we will see how from Visual Studio we are completing it. From Visual Studio, if I click on my project, if I go to add, here I will see container orchestration support. So click here, Docker Composer, click on OK. So Linux, I will click on OK. So another projects it's come titled Docker Composer, and there that is docker compose.yaml file. So this is basically YAML file, and once I have added for this my demo project demo API, it's already have is telling me that where is the image and what is the Docker file it need to refer. That's it. And if I just go and simply run it, it is running. Okay, so in image you can see two images already just created, and in container I can see this is the Docker Composer and my this is demo API. Okay, if I go and see the it is running or not. Okay, it is coming. Okay, so this is we have achieved it from Docker Composer also. Now, what is the other benefit of Docker Composer? Now, let's suppose if I need to run my visual my PG SQL also. Okay, so for PG SQL, what we can do in the Docker Composer itself, I can add that. Okay, so we have services, we have demo APIs, we have images, and build a path. Okay, similarly at this level we can add something like my DB. So this is my DB and this is my image. So what image I am taking? I am taking Postgres. Okay, and there are a few more properties. I am just copying paste it. Okay, restart always, environment, So environment, I have given the username, I have made it different, password I have made it different, port I have given, and my container name is local pgsql. Okay, so let me delete these two images again. Container first we will delete, and we will delete image also. And now if I go and run it again, docker compose. So see, one file is now dealing with two containers. So similarly in Docker Compose we can add n number of containers configuration. And this container configuration, let's suppose Docker Composer we have created, we have uh, pull our code in GitHub or any of repo, and every developer who will get it, he will have the same version of all the softwares that we need for our application, and there is no discrepancy in versions and other stuffs. So if I go to image, I can see Postgre is also running and my API is also running. If I go to container, in Docker Composer, both are running. So if I again need to go and check it, so weather forecast, it is coming. Okay. If I need to go and see my PG SQL are connecting or not, so for that I have changed the password. Okay, that time I have added the password as Postgres. Now I have changed it. So if I need to again connect, so my password will be Postgres new for this for this container. Password is same, username is same. If I click on connect, see it is connecting. Okay, so this is the way we can uh, run our Docker Compose with having a number of containers having different images, and we can properly manage this. So this is the one way where we are running from Visual Studio. But let's suppose there is no Visual Studio, then how we can run it? So I will quickly delete again the containers. I will remove the my images, and I will go to that path where my Docker Composer is present. So my Docker Composer is present here. I will go to File Explorer, and from here I will run any of command prompt. So let's suppose I have used this command prompt, and here I can use Docker compose up. Okay, Docker compose up. So this command, if I run this, what it will do, it will basically download all the images again and run both the containers for me. So if I do it, now it's doing. Similarly, we have a Docker Composer down also. There are different commands, so we can explore more on commands. But overall purpose of this video is how the basically containers, how to run the containers, how the Docker file having the importance, and how the Docker Composer. So basically connecting the dots is the main purpose of this video. So now it's running. Okay, if I go to images, I can see both images are there. Okay, okay, if I go to container, I can see my API as well as Postgres are also launched. Okay, so this way we can use the Docker Composer. Docker Composer is very useful in production environment and in real lifetime projects. And here, friends, I have just added a few of Docker cheat sheet as in PDF and link, and that I will add it in the description sections. Through that, you can identify the Docker's different commands and learn it. So that link I will provide. And again, thank you so much for watching the video, and please keep share, like, subscribe, and share the videos, and keep your supports on. Yeah, thank you so much.